I used to be able to peck pop.
Then you're live.
No more.
Changes everything about themselves.
Alrighty, so ladies, we are live. Welcome back to the Keystone Keys Podcast, everybody. Appreciate you guys joining us today in studio. We have two local legends. You know, not to say that my good man here.
I'll be the
legend.
That's good. I am
the legend.
It'll be secondary.
I love that you
got Reagan Weiss here, riding co-pilot.
What's up, Coco?
Call him Goose today.
That's right. There's two O's and Goose.
Mary Cernicki and Amanda Hart
Welcome.
of
Hi.
the newly formed and very exciting Nature Coast Roofing Solutions. So,
Yes.
ladies, welcome. Thank you for coming on in.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, for sure.
It's been a pleasure already for the last 30 minutes.
What he means is, behind the scenes,
It's been fun
it's
stuff.
been fun for 30 minutes trying to get this going.
Trying
But
to
we're
go,
good.
trying to go live.
It
We've
was all
dialed it in.
Mary. It was all Mary.
Yeah, 100%.
I'll take a full
100%.
responsibility for that.
So, ladies, what's new? Tell us about your roofing company.
Yes.
Go ahead, Mary.
Right into
How
it.
did it
Just
start?
go
Like,
right
where,
into it.
where did the partnership form?
We were at
When and
dinner.
where?
Yes, over Lemon Drop Martinis.
Yes,
Yeah.
it did.
Yeah.
And
All great.
Yes.
somebody
businesses
said,
form over
why
11
couldn't you
drop
do
martinis.
this for yourself? And have you ever thought about owning your own business? And I was like, and I got a phone call, and it wasn't a great phone call. And I hung up the phone. I was like,
We can do better than this.
we could do better than this.
Yeah.
I'm not ever going to be talking
And
to you
then
like this.
lemon drop martini, and then bam.
Yeah.
Right?
And
Yes,
that's how it
pretty much.
started.
Nice.
And we left dinner, and I was actually sitting at the bottom of a mountain in Yellowstone National Park. And Mary called me, and she's like, I'm like, what are we doing? She's like, we're going to do this. And
There
I'm
you
like,
go.
holy shit. Okay. All right, let's do it.
Jesse, that's number one.
That's the first curse word of this podcast.
PG-13. Yes.
All right.
PG-13.
Yeah, she said, go. She goes, let's think about this and
Yeah.
stuff. And she was going on vacation.
Mhm.
And then I thought about it. I prayed about it. And
There we go.
And here we are.
and here we are. Yeah.
Excellent.
We
Well, congratulations.
Literally
Congratulations.
hit the ground running.
Congratulations to
Yes.
both of you.
Yes.
I will say from experience, I've had the privilege to work with both of these ladies, Mary and Amanda, for way longer. And it's nice when you see two individuals that come together that share an equal passion. You have the expertise of the roofing industry from Mary, as well as being a hungry entrepreneur. And then we have Amanda, who's just been a pillar in this community for a very long time. Actually got to work under Amanda in my
So
my
she was your
youth.
boss?
She was my shit.
She still is
There's
boss.
number two.
Don't let him fool you.
Shit, she
True
was my
story.
boss.
Taught you
Yeah,
everything you know?
she was my boss.
Yes.
And yeah,
Good
of
job,
course,
Mary.
always. Yep. If it wasn't for Amanda, absolutely would not be where I am today, guys. But anyway, at the end of the day, two individuals that work hard, know about connecting community, know about
Mhm.
connecting each other, and it's kind of cool to watch you guys grow. And now, what are we in? Month 3? Right?
Well,
Yeah.
we really officially started January 1st.
Right.
Really?
Like we
Yeah,
launched
January.
right before New Year's
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
said, hey, we're coming to town. And here
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
are. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So talk about that journey. Talk like how did Nature Coast? Where did that come from? Where did the flamingo come from? Talk about that.
So actually Nature Coast came from my husband, Brian.
Mhm.
Nice.
I've had many businesses over my short, wonderful, because I'm young, life. And and he's actually been the one that named them all.
Wow.
Okay.
True story. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Did not know that.
yeah, for sure. And he named Blackjack. He named the preschool. He
Mhm.
helped us. We struggled with the name for Nature Coast, and he's like, well, why don't? And then we had to talk about the flamingo. So the flamingo that is on part of our logo,
Yes.
Brian was not a fan of.
No,
Yeah.
does
Not
like
at all. Yeah,
He
we
calls
had-
it a penguin.
he does.
He wanted me to do a monkey or like I can't even remember, a
No.
sand crane.
And I told
was
them
like,
all.
No, flamingo.
Yeah.
It was flamingo.
So, and because we're two women that own a roofing company, which is not normal.
What is that statistic? Do you know that statistic?
Yeah, so it's 0.5% of all roofing contractors in the United States of America.
Wow.
The whole 50 states,
0.5.
5% of the spread. So that's a
It's a big
huge
deal.
Wow.
That's a really, really big deal.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it is.
So let me ask you then. So now you've been around in the roofing industry for a while. You've been an entrepreneur forever. Like, is it difficult walking into that room with men? Do you feel treated differently? Do you feel that you're treated differently in this industry? I'm just bringing it up. It's real talk.
I know that you got this. You gonna start this?
You start it.
Okay. Well, I have no problem walking into a room full of women or men.
Right.
So because sometimes women are actually meaner than men.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no problem with that, because in my other companies, it's a majority of male. Right.
Mhm.
Business owners are majority males, and that's what I've dealt with for 18 years. So I have no problem.
Yeah,
with that.
I wouldn't
think
see.
Mary does either.
I wouldn't see either of these having an
Well,
issue.
I will say,
they're
though,
respected in the community. They're well known.
Thank you, Chris. Thank
we
you.
are,
Yeah.
and we have been very blessed, but it is hard going against, in the good old boy club. So it is difficult. So we just have to know more. We have to know more, show up. Like, we can't, I got into a roofing company is to give the best customer service and the best product out there. Like, I'm not going to be the one that's going to be, installing 50 roofs a week.
Right.
That's not my plan. It's
Let the guys swing the hammer.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the difference, right? Like, there's a million roofing companies out there, not even naming any of them. Like, why choose Nature Coast over the next? Start there.
Well, you get individual customer service with us. Like,
Okay.
we really, we're the ones that go out. I manage the process. I'm running to Home Depot. I'm getting the stuff.
Mhm.
I'm ordering the material. Like, it doesn't go into like a production. I am the production. So when you sign with me and I pull your permit, I do everything. We do everything right there in office. There's no
So it's that
different
personal
departments.
touch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yes, and if there's a problem, because it's one of the biggest investments for your house to redo the room.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's major construction. It's not like you're switching out a cabinet. It is major construction on your house.
Mhm.
There's all kinds of stuff, plumbing, electrical, that all goes up and through the roof. So if you don't have somebody that knows what they're doing and knows how to troubleshoot, or because it's construction, so there could be a problem, it's how you deal with those problems, and you deal with them right away, and you have the owners of the company that are dealing with them on site.
So it's a personal touch. It's not like you
Yeah.
guys are having receptionists right now. Like, if they call, they're calling you or calling
That's me.
you.
Yeah.
Right.
Did we not just witness that right before the
Yeah,
podcast?
I know we did. I did.
Right?
The phone's ringing. The phone ringing. Get it. Get the phone.
Stop the countdown.
And
Right?
this phone is the one that every single phone call, whether it be a sales call or someone that has a problem, and it's literally with me at all times.
Excellent.
So I'm the one
So you,
answering the phone.
everybody that calls Nature Coast will receive an answer,
Yes.
right? Immediately.
Yes.
So keep that in mind. It's not going to voicemail. It's not going to
No.
a receptionist who's going to pass along a message. It's going straight to the owner.
And also, I know, just because of working with you wonderful ladies, is that you do have policies and protocols and procedures in place already that most companies haven't done 10 years into their business, or they haven't figured it out.
Absolutely.
So, you're going to get that video follow-up from Mary.
Mhm.
You're going to get that text message, that voice message follow-up. You're going to get video content from Mary, like when she's on the roof or going on a roof and showing the issues and problems. A lot of roofing companies don't do that. A lot of roofing companies don't even get on the roof anymore. And I know I've seen plenty of pictures of you on a roof. So,
Yes.
which is pretty cool. Which is pretty cool.
Just so y'all know, I'm not going to. That was
Come on.
part of the.
Right.
That was in our agreement when we started this. That Amanda's
I
not
get
getting
it.
on the
Could
roof.
you go in a bucket truck next to the roof and we could get a picture of you up there?
Maybe, yeah, but that's not part of the business plan.
Pretty soon we're going to get a drone strong enough that she's going to hold on and we're going to
Harness her.
fly her right over.
No.
That'll be fun.
And so I was just talking to Angel in the 30 minutes we were preparing for this, and think about who makes that decision when you're doing a remodel or you're doing a new roof. I mean, ideally, it's the woman that's making the decision. I hate to say that to you
86%,
two guys,
man.
That's fine.
yeah.
Ask her. She's sitting right there.
86%, the woman is the decision maker.
I might
at home.
suggest the idea, but
Yeah.
that's where it's going to go with me.
Yeah.
Like, hey, babe, what do you think about calling Nature Coast Roofing and having a new roof put on and having all those, exposed truss ends redone and the tongue and groove stain under the overhang in the front.
And then
Right?
we'll have to call Tyler because it has to be painted too.
She's like, "Oh, I love the idea. Yeah, I'll call Mary." I'm like, "All right, thanks."
Exactly.
Now I'm out. There's my idea, and I'm done.
Exactly.
All right, so we'll talk about community involvement. I'll start over with Amanda. Tell me the importance it is that you, because listen, I met you a long time ago. One of the first things that you said to me, and this is like, gosh, Mary, this is when I'm wearing spandex.
I don't know what he's gonna say.
This is where I don't. You probably
You
don't
remember
know.
the
Why
blackjack
were you
kits
wearing
that we used to
spandex?
wear?
Yeah, but I was wearing spandex. She sponsored our
Said
cycling team.
blackjack
Yeah,
wraps.
that's how we met. We were
Yeah.
Chris and Reagan both.
we were
Okay.
both
Yeah.
riding. She
Yeah.
sponsored our team.
Hey, no, you challenged somebody to find that picture, and they never did.
And Jesse failed
Jesse.
us. I'll find.
Where is Jesse? He's not on the feed.
he disappeared. Anyway, back to you.
Is he
Yeah.
still on?
You said you were like Reagan. Going to these meetings. This was way when we first met. Going to these meetings have been probably the best thing that I've ever had. And she's like, you need to get involved more. And that was before working with you. That was when you were just sponsoring teams, and you knew that way back when we were still very young. And then you've harnessed that obviously forever. And you built so many great resources and relationships over the years. But I want to hear your take on it.
My take was I was going to a B&I group for owning my other company, Blackjack Media Group.
Right.
And it was all about, passing this and passing that and filling this and sitting in a room that you're uncomfortable with the person because they need to learn about you. And I came home and, we have 3 kids. I came home, I told my husband, I'm like, this just isn't filling my cup.
Right.
Like, I need more. Like, I need something that's going to fill me up, not just our business, but our time is our, most valuable asset that we have. And I told Brian, I'm like, I'm quitting it all. And he was like, okay, how's that gonna
Again,
affect?
the woman making the decision.
Right.
Yeah, but how is that gonna affect our business? Like that was a scary jump off a bridge that you're gonna just quit all of that, because that's where we were getting our leads from. And I had been asked to sit on a couple of nonprofit boards, and I had rejected them because I didn't have the time for it. Right. So finally, I jumped off the bridge and got on another one, and my first board was actually for West Pasco Habitat for Humanity.
Oh, yeah.
And
we used to do a lot of work with them when you and I worked at that big box retailer.
Yeah. And I realized I was sitting at the table and I had those butterflies in your stomach that you don't usually get. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, this is where the people that are making decisions sit. And they invited me to the table.
Yeah.
And there was a point in time I sat on like 7 different boards.
Wow.
And then I was like, okay, it's a little too much, right? I want to give my 100%. I want to be completely in. And now I sit on 3 boards. I sit on the board for Leadership Pasco. I sit on the board for Newport Richey Rotary. I'm a past president of the largest Rotary club in our district, which is Newport Richey Rotary. And I'm just highly involved in really give back to my community, and it's my passion. So I used to think my business was my passion. It's not. My community is.
Yeah,
so,
nice.
And I sit on the board for Help Life Charities.
Help Life Charities as well.
So
yeah,
I want to give it all. And part of our business plan for Nature Coast Roofing is, and we're already doing it, giving back to our community, being involved.
Right.
We're sponsoring the event for tonight for the mayor.
Yeah, the mayor debate, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Is that going to be streamed also?
Yes, it's going to be streamed.
Excellent.
Yeah. Sorry. So I'm going to touch on you. Same question. But I want to bring something up because it's kind of relevant to the talk right now. So has anyone seen the Chris Rock special?
Yes.
That's popped up yet? Right. So in the Chris Rock, I'll refrain from language. Lindsay's in the back there just staring at me. Yeah, it's the selective outrage. There's stuff in there. He had to come back at Will Smith, all that. But forget all of that. There was one particular part of that show that really intrigued me. And he was like, look at all these companies talking about giving back.
Yep.
Right? Giving back this. You're full of, and you know what? And the funny thing is, a lot of people, all they care about, listen, your constituents, your customers, your clients, and so forth and so on, they care about what you can do for them, and that's it. A majority of them do not give a crap about who you give to or who you want to give or why you want to give to them. They care what you can do for them, and that is the majority of society. In my opinion, this is the majority of society. They want, what's the value you're bringing to that client, right? You're giving great customer service, you're giving a great roof, et cetera, and so on. But I truly believe in our community, we have a close-knit community of individuals and business owners that do truly have that give back thought process first. Yeah. And I think you guys are one of those individuals. I know I am. I know people in this room are. And if you do it for the right reasons, and if you do it with transparency, it will come back to you tenfold. It's not like you're out there saying, look, hey, we did this, that, and the other. And we always talk about action inspires action.
Right.
You could talk about a little bit of what you do just so it will inspire someone to do something else. But I think when you give back for the right reasons, it always pays you back tenfold. I want your take on that. And when did you start like thinking in that mindset? When did that change for you?
Well, I think that I've always been involved in the community. I just was never out in front like I am now. You know, I don't think that I really put my face out there, but I've always been involved in different events that happened, you know, in Pasco County. I mean, I grew up here, I graduated here, you know, so I've been
Rare breed.
I've been part of everything that's gone on in the last 47 years here.
Wow.
So, but I do, like, you know, I used to march in the Chasco Fiesta. I'll never forget that. When I was like I can't remember, I think I started in kindergarten, and I used to have this baton, and I remember listen, I just found this picture, and I was like, this is the cutest thing.
Can you still do that?
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's the next video.
Dude,
I want you with a baton.
Listen.
Wait, can we set it on fire?
Oh my God.
Yes.
She's our new baton twirler at Halloween.
Listen, my idol was, and she could probably listen to this because I'm still friends with her now, was Bernadette Ravis. She had her own, she was a maid.
Is this someone that you went to school with?
Yes, she was a senior when I was a freshman, and she was the one baton twirler at Ridgewood. Okay. She had this sparkly little outfit, and she used to have these fire batons. And I was like,
go Rams.
She is the coolest person on the planet. And I just wanted
Do you have a relationship
Apparently
with this
she
girl?
still is
You
the
don't really know her? Or no? I mean,
yes, I still know her now.
You know her? Like you talk in front of her? Okay, all right.
Do you know that I'm still
someone
friends
that you
with every friend I've ever had?
It wasn't just someone that you looked at from afar.
No.
Well,
I had to get to know her.
Well, there was a time though, but you were like, Bernadette. Like, right?
Yeah.
You were like looking at her in that way.
No, I used to bring her water, and I was afraid to talk to her.
That's
No
awesome,
idea.
though.
So funny.
Like, because I had a really bad stuttering problem when I was a kid,
Really?
and so I couldn't talk, and I have really bad learning disabilities. So
Well, you can talk just fine now.
Yeah. What the hell happened?
yeah. So like when I
We hit her in the head.
So like when I write something or type something, it's always backwards. It's always mixed up the letters. So I have to like do it like 3 or 4 times.
Yes.
And that's just how I am, even when writing.
Yes.
It's true. Yeah.
No, so
Yes.
so I tried to take 2 days off of work this past week, right?
Good luck.
It didn't work out well. So I came in yesterday after Rotary, and I was like, you need to do this, and you need to do this, and you need to do this. So I put Mary in charge of sending out 3 invoices for the roofing company. So she first has to sit at my desk, and she's very technology challenged, which I love you for that.
Oh,
but,
man.
Yeah, and
just dropping bombs.
And my mouse pad is a trackpad.
Yeah, it's not even a mouse.
Yeah.
So I'm looking all over for the mouse for a long time.
Where's your mouse?
I was like, where is it? Oh, is this it over here?
And Brian's like, you have to put your finger on it like this, Mare. So she does, right? And then she's doing the invoices. And she's like, well, that's not the right number. Where did it go? Right?
I erased the whole thing.
But you did so good.
So she's teaching me how to do QuickBooks and doing invoicing and stuff. And I was like,
fun.
no wonder I couldn't in my past life get an invoice quickly. This takes 45 days.
Right.
I was like,
well, let's talk on this moment. All right. So this is a moment to where we talk about transparency all the time. No one's perfect in business. And we want to go out there. We want to put the perfect brand out there. We want to put the perfect image. The truth is, we're always still trying to figure stuff out, right? You're very knowledgeable in what you do. You're very knowledgeable in what you do, but there are learning curves, especially when you're first start a business. And in my opinion, I'm just going to speak frankly, you've had to have a mind shift from
being an employee
Right.
to a business owner. And that takes a long time because I was very guilty of that for a long time where I'm like, I just give my check. I'm like, wait a minute, that's my money coming out of the account. It's not just a check, it's my money. And you just have to think differently. So how is that for you now?
Brian has been really instrumental in that with me too.
That's
It's
awesome.
like, he looks at me, he goes, you know that I'm not your boss, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
right.
There you go.
and you know, and I was like, you're right, you're
Jesse,
not.
Explicit number 4 just popped up. Do we have the graphic?
Video
for the-
editing.
Yeah.
Now we're doing video editing in the podcast.
It was sign language. It was sign language.
So, but that's a big deal because I've always been an employee. And listen, I was a really, really good employee.
Mm-hmm.
Like I treated their business, anything I ever did, I treated it like it was my own. I feel like I work for Blackjack as well. Like I learn and I can answer questions and I go find things for customers. I answer the phone
That's cool.
a little bit better than I did this morning.
Right.
But it's it's one of those things.
She
Like
was so happy to answer that
It
phone.
was so
It was
bad.
hilarious.
That was so bad.
That was awesome.
Were
What
you
talking
waiting for
about?
that call for a
No,
while?
when you
She
have a
was
new
so
business.
Oh, that was just a
excited.
new call? I
It
thought you were
was-
waiting for a
no.
call.
That was a
I
lead.
thought someone
a hot
like you
lead.
won the lottery for a second. Oh, that phone.
That's how I feel. When
Instantly
customers
turns
call.
red. She's like, "Oh my god, hello. This is Nature Coach Ruby,
No.
Mary."
She was good. She turned it
Yay!
on. She
Well,
turned it
because
on.
we spend so much time in getting
were in
the
the
phone to
background
ring,
cheering
and when
on.
it rings, I
Capturing
get
lead-
very
listen,
excited.
Yeah.
Capturing
Oh,
leads
it was
is a-
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
capturing leads is a big deal, and when you put your time, your money, and your effort for that phone to ring, it is a
Yeah.
big deal.
And when they said, "Can you come right now?" Yes, absolutely.
Sure,
Let me
I'm
go
on the
send Debbie
way
Bozzi out.
after my
Yeah.
podcast, but you can wait for that. So what is what's the goal, right? So right now, just you two. Is it like a full crew? Is it subcontract and crew? Is it both? Like what's the thought process?
No, so we want everything to be in house. Like we want
Mhm.
to build a business where people, that can come and be happy, and that they feel fulfilled working for for us. Like our employees are the most important people to us. Like
Mhm.
seriously. And we have people follow us, in our different lives and stuff like that. And we've had a lot of people that want to come and work for us, but at the same time right now, like we have to do all the selling, you know what I mean? Until we build it where we can bring on people,
Right.
And we do have 2 salesmen right now,
Mhm.
who are great. And they feel really comfortable with Mary and I, because, we're totally different. Right. So he knows Mary from her other life, and he doesn't even know me at all. Right.
Right.
And I'm like, you have to understand, I'm an over communicator. I need to know all of the things,
Mhm.
because the more I know, the better our business will be. Right.
The less you feel like you need to know.
Right.
You know,
And
it's
we
like
hired,
hands off.
yep. And then we hired a superintendent. So
Mhm.
Mary doesn't have to go and buy all of the materials.
Good job. Yeah.
She's
Listen,
like, I went to Home Depot 4 times today. I don't ever want to go back
he
again.
was like, "Well, I'm going to need a truck." And I was like, "Okay." And then Amanda goes, "Did you give him your truck?" I said, "Yeah, I gave him my truck."
Yeah,
Yes.
we have to. I mean,
She
we
goes,
have to,
"How you get in
right?
the office?" I said, "You're going to have to come get me."
Yeah.
Well, that's a growing pain, because you don't want to overextend, right? You don't want to
Yeah.
overextend the
No.
very beginning.
No.
You got to do things. You got to grow the
Right.
right way. I've been a part of businesses that have grown way too fast, and I've watched them fall. I've seen giants fall. I've seen too much growth, too much
Mhm.
fast. I've seen also lack of implementation, where it also kills those people. So it kills those businesses.
The
So
fine line
gotta-
is so
it
hard.
It is.
And, I've started many businesses, but this one's much different, because I mean, I know customer service and I know how to market,
Mhm.
but there's so many facets to this business that I'm still going to be learning probably 10 years from now.
I think the
There's
beauty
so
part
many
is
moving
you're
parts.
always learning.
Yes.
And once, if you ever have that mindset where you trap yourself in and you're not learning anymore, that's a problem.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
where arrogance gets in too much confidence. And then if you're that person that's nothing to learn, it's a problem. You guys are, I don't think
100%.
you're those people.
No.
You're
No.
always wanting to grab information.
Yeah.
You both always want to openly have discussion, not just with me, with other people as well, about how can we become better, not just as business owners, but as people as well. And I think that's awesome. I think that's all of us in this room.
Yeah,
And I think
absolutely.
the people that I worked for years and years helped groom me into this position. And I'm truly grateful for where it came from,
Mhm.
because I remember them, being stressed out about things that I am now stressed out about,
Right.
about like the underwriting for insurance and, workers' comp and making sure all of this, because it all matters. All of these details matter, because
Mhm.
I'm not going to put a gentleman or lady on the roof that they're not 100% covered. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because I have in my prior life had, someone that was harmed, a fatality, and I had to sit at that funeral.
Mm.
Like, that's something that I take super, super personal. And, it's something that I want to make sure that we're doing it the right way.
And I want our customers to know that we're not cutting corners. So why we might be a little bit more than someone else is because everyone on that roof is fully insured. Everyone on the roof has the safety harness on. I want to make sure that all the I's are dotted. We really ideally want to change the roofing industry from a woman's perspective, making sure that every I is dotted, every T is crossed.
Yeah, there's a lot of blow and go companies, and sometimes it's okay to take your time as well.
And that's number 5.
You know? Oh, no, that's not bad. You guys are mentally.
What is happening today?
That's you guys. That doesn't mean that.
Say-
oh my
say it again.
gosh.
Say it again.
that's-
You are horrible.
Honestly,
Dirty
that is
people.
Say it
a
again.
technical term in the industry.
Right. It's
It is?
yeah, it's in
Because-
construction.
Okay,
Because
well,
what
that's
happens
something
is
I
that-
just learned.
I've
So
been
they're
in
called
construction a long
storm-
time, and I've
dirty.
never heard that.
I'm leaving.
They're called storm chasers.
I apologize to
And
my
they
pastor.
come in with the wind, the blow part,
Mhm.
the wind,
Yeah.
and they try and sell as much as they can,
Yeah.
and they do a horrible job, and then they leave the community, and
Yeah.
they leave the community worse.
They leave the state.
Thank you for explaining that
Yeah.
to us, Mary.
They leave. Guys. And Lindsay, I'm disappointed in you. You're supposed to be the wholesome, unreal. Tyler's red. Tyler Hardigan's red.
Martha
This is
Stewart.
horrible. Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
Dude, Martha Stewart's very attractive. She's 85 years old. I'm just saying. I saw her in Vegas.
If you're into that,
All
I don't
right.
even, like,
I forgot what I was saying.
what's beyond a cougar? I don't even know. What's like?
Martha Stewart, apparently.
Martha Stewart.
You know what I
We just coined that.
In Reagan's eyes, yeah, Martha Stewart.
What the hell was
We
I
just
saying?
went
Blow
from
and go.
Karen to Martha.
Yeah, there we go. All right. So blow and go companies that go in fast and so forth. And if you take your time and do things the right way, you're walking behind with the magnet. And even as thorough as you can be, you'll still miss things. And that's why you're transparent with the client. Be like, listen, we're going to go around. We're going to do a walk around with you. We're going to make sure you're happy with if there's any drip edge, damage or soffit damage or gutter damage and all that stuff.
And listen, I get very upset if my job site is a mess or if it's left not to the way. Like I went to go pick
That
up
is a pet peeve of mine also.
If you go to pick up a payment or something like that, and you see
And
something,
they hand something back to you. You're like, oh, but we found this on the yard.
that's super embarrassing, and that's not something that I want to do. You know, and there's always going to be monkey wrenches and problems and issues that we have to overcome daily. But that's kind of the stuff that I kind of like want to weed out.
I think though too. I think you setting the precedent properly changes a lot of things, and I think a lot of people forget that in construction. And stop me if I'm wrong. So if you don't communicate that from the very beginning, then you lose all control, right? If you have a precedent and you said, "Hey,
that we're perfect,
right,
and
right,
it's all going to be
you
perfect."
can't do that.
Yeah.
Here's your policies. Here's your procedures. Oh, and by the way, Mrs. Smith, these things might occur and these things might happen. You give a customer nowhere to go because you were always truthful to them from the beginning. You can say, hey, well, let's go back to A, B, and C because we did say that here. You'll never get a bad review. There's nothing they could say about you because they signed off on a sheet and you were very thorough with them in the very beginning.
And then the other thing too is like the whole insurance industry has changed in the last couple of years here in Florida, and roofing companies get a bad rap.
Right. Lindsay is. Oh, we're getting a phone call. Oh, and she's answering it. Hey, Lance, you can walk in front of the camera. It's your camera. You can walk in front of it. Okay.
So the insurance industry has really taken a hit from contractors that don't do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really, really important when you are hiring someone to do work in your home, especially after a storm or when you have, hail damage or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're with a company that has, been in your community for a long time, that they're not going to go on top of your roof and create damage because there are actually companies that do that. And I've gone out and I'm like, oh my goodness.
So I'm going to give you an example of that conversation. So I have a barrel tile roof. Okay. Very old home, 100-year-old home. And I had to go up there one time and she's like, dude, what are you doing? Make sure you're stepping in between these certain things and so forth. The company that did my roof, there's actually been issues where Mary actually has come out like there's a flaw here, there's a flaw here, and there's a flaw here. And she's not doing that to be malicious towards the other company. She's just pointing out the obvious that I would never have known because I just don't know about TPO or I don't know about that specific, product. And she pointed it out to me, but like I said, not to be malicious, to do things the right way. And I think because they did a blow and go and they went right through, they missed so much stuff. Now, moisture issues, leak issues, all that stuff that has to be
all the issues down the road. Mold.
And he purchased a home thinking that this was good. And the person that probably purchased that roof thought that they were doing the right thing.
Right.
But you know what? They don't, they don't know. They don't know.
Right.
And because we're supposed to be the experts, but it's as a homeowner, you have so much power and you have to ask good questions and you have to ask for references. You know what I mean? That's super important.
So that's a great topic that we touched on. I sat in on Adam Long's new podcast, Real Talk with Adam. We had Jen Burge in, and one of the main topics, from a real estate agent standpoint and a mortgage loan officer standpoint, was educating their customers. You're out there, you're explaining everything that that they can in layman's terms so that they understand, obviously, but that's going to make them feel better. That's going to put your customer at ease.
Peace of mind.
Not only do they look at you as the expert. Right. They're like, oh man, she really knows what the hell she's talking about. This woman is for real, and you assure them, hey, sometimes things pop up down the road or whatever, but we're going to handle it. I give you my word, as my reputation and my company's reputation will be on the line when I say that, we will take care of it. Educate them first, follow up later, and you'll have a customer for life. And one of the cool, Adam brought up a couple of really good examples yesterday. 14 years ago, he did a loan for a woman, right? down in like Sun City or something south of here,
Mhm.
Ruskin or something. And she calls him up the other day because he did so good for her 14 years ago. She called him up again 14 years later and said, hey, and he still had her number saved in his phone and everything. You know, he's like, hey, B, what's up? You know, you can see the podcast. It was really funny. But I mean, that's planting the seed for future growth, right?
Let's continue that conversation.
Yeah. And how many people did she talk to that he doesn't know about?
Right.
You know,
but this is a perfect example of people hire people, not so much the brand.
Yeah.
And although brand recognition is very, it's a very important thing, people do hire people. I get calls in the construction industry because, hey, I worked with you a decade ago and I want to hire you again because I felt comfortable with you. You know what I mean? And then I just refer them out to I feel being responsible.
And that's why,
right.
and that's why Mary and I's picture, as much as we hate having our pictures on everything,
we don't like this.
Our picture is on every single thing that we send out.
Hey, Jess, can you put that other picture up there on the screen?
Jesse.
We so we
I don't know if you can do it or
advertised.
not, but
We
I'm gonna
advertised in
The Wizard of Pods. There.
the home mag,
Did
right?
you put it up? Oh, it's there.
Oh.
You can see it. It's there. We just
There
can't
it
see
is.
Here. I don't know why it's not there.
So
It's on the live feed.
So we answer the phones. Okay.
That's
so
such a good picture.
the customer is asking for Amanda directly, and I'm like, she must know
This
Amanda.
happened yesterday.
It happened yesterday, and I'm like, she must be a friend of Amanda or this or that and stuff. And it's because of we have our names on there, we have our phone numbers on there, so they can call us literally directly. And so I was like, I said, I'm Mary Cernicki, I'm her business partner. I'm looking at your picture right now. I'm like, that's so weird. So creepy.
It's true though. It's true. And how about this? Some people might feel more comfortable just from the look of either one of you that they'll reach out to either one of you. And I've been definitely.
And then when you send those like follow-up videos and
absolutely
that helps a lot.
So
because it's I don't know who taught me that, but
No, I taught him.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
There's so much value in follow-up that way. It's immeasurable. Like it is truly immeasurable. Like it's something that we do with our team here at the mortgage company. It's not a text message. You don't send people text messages. That is so impersonal.
It really is. It really is.
And I have to say though, too, is the follow-up, like
even
the
emails.
way we follow up with our customers is what 100% gets us the jobs, because they have people that'll come out and just give them an estimate.
And they leave.
They're
done.
That's it.
No follow-up, no nothing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if we send our sales guy out, this happened yesterday as well. We sent our sales guy out and there was a question about one of the processes. I didn't have the salesperson call back. I called back.
Right.
Of course, Mary and I talked about what that might look like in advance.
Right.
But they were like, oh, well, hello. It's nice to hear from, and we've lost some jobs along the way, right?
You're going to.
And, is there
normal.
something we can do better? How was the salesperson? How did he treat you? Is there something that you could share with me maybe that could help a future customer, even though you're not going to be our customer? And that's okay.
And some are willing to give that information because they want to see you improve.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of support with other roofing contractors.
Yes.
Other roofing contractors have been
and we both have relationships from that in our prior
with
lives,
other roofing contractors.
right?
So they answer questions for us. They have helped
That's great.
us. We're like, where do you get your auto insurance? Like, kind of stuff, because it's completely different,
Right.
world than,
So, let's go into it's making people feel good. And let me segue this really quick. Jesse, there's a picture of some cupcakes I want you to pull up really quick.
Oh yeah.
Principal, owner, and broker of Keystone Mortgage Solution, Lindsay Weber. Look at that. Look at the screen right there. Went out of her way today, which I think is absolutely awesome.
It's amazing.
And
I love it.
made a display of the flamingo cupcakes,
Yep.
which is really
Nature
effed
Coast
up
Roofing
because I want
logo.
like all of them and I want to eat them. But anyway, it's making people feel special. I think that's so important. We talked about this briefly yesterday. Young entrepreneur in our area, Carol York, just opened up a salon.
I'm so sad I missed it.
Which is really, but you're busy. We're busy.
Why
She
would you do
understands.
everything on
We're busy.
Wednesdays. Can it be another day?
Sure.
Yeah, let's
whatever
work-
for you. I'm going to make it
Let's
happen.
work on that, Weiss.
Red
okay?
carpet. I'm going to
Yeah.
follow you around with roses, and I'm
Please,
just going to drop roses
please.
at your feet.
Well,
yes.
look what Lindsay did.
Also, yes, like look at the hats, like all of this. Like it's making people feel special, right? And that little bit of a difference will make a huge difference in everyone's life. And if you do that with your customers, if you do that with your family, if you do that with your friends and family members, you change everyone's life, right? And if you change everyone's life, then your life will change as well. And I think that's what you guys are going to do. I know that's what Keystone does. Tyler's in here as well. He does that. I know for a fact that I do that. And I think when you get around those like-minded people, I think that's why we have a winning team.
Yes.
I truly believe that's why we have an authentic winning team. And I love that, I have private conversations with Mary often. Everyone in this room, I have private conversations with. And when we talked about getting each other's back and watching each other's back, and it's
And
so
helping each
important,
other
and
grow.
helping each other grow.
And calling each other out on our bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, clearly
sure.
yesterday.
For sure.
Yesterday, Reagan did that to me.
I mean, but am I doing it to be?
No. I didn't even think about it. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I do need to update that, right?
Here's my thing. When you see, if you're on the outside, Chris, and we're friends, and you see something that's wrong on the outside, if you're a true friend, you call that
Speak
out
up. Like, hey, man.
and you speak up. We always talk about speaking up. And I think that's why I think all of us in our group are really strong too, because we speak up about one another. And it's okay. It's tough love. I mean, sometimes the delivery might not be the best, or I might say something wrong or uncanny or vice versa. You talk shit to me.
I
You
talk
said,
shit to you all the time.
crap, here we go again. And then, Amanda's like, Reagan, I didn't really appreciate it that way, but I understood the message. It's a must. You'll hit me with
Constructive
But
criticism.
But that's part of being willing to learn.
right.
Yeah, me too.
If you're right,
You have to
if
be
you
mature
can't-
enough to understand that it is
Exactly.
You
coming
have to
from a
be
good
mature
place.
enough to handle the information that's being delivered to you.
Mhm.
Right.
And if you're not, then you're mad, or you're he's
You
being
can't be
this, he's being that.
sensitive.
You can't.
No.
I mean,
No.
there's things to be sensitive to, but like you need to be sensitive to yourself. Like people are, on the outside giving you construction.
That's the most sensitive person I know right here.
Yes, I'm
guy.
aware. Yes.
See?
I cried last week on Paul's podcast.
You
Paul
did?
LeBlanc, oh, dude, he hit me hard. Like, he went into the dad conversation, so that hit the trigger.
Oh,
And then I'm
well,
like, and then I try to hold it in, and then like they talked about people believing in one. I'm fine to talk about it now, but it's nice when people, or not. No, I'm just joking. It's nice when people believe in you,
yeah, of
right?
course it is.
And then we talked about at that time, like the person at that time in my life was always my dad that believed in me, and always had that conversation. Well, that went away, and I was like, I didn't have it as much. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you guys this.
Yeah.
So we need to step it up. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, can you say love me once in a while? I'm just joking. Go ahead.
But as business owners, because all of us are in this room are business owners, did you ever feel at one point you were standing on an island all by yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Tyler, I
Tyler's
heard,
over there. He's like,
right?
Tyler actually
Tyler's
is on an island all by himself over there in that chair.
But I mean, there's a point in time like that you're like, oh my gosh, I have to do all this by myself.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, we have partners in business, right? We all have partners in business, but sometimes it's overwhelming.
Well, even
It
if
can be.
it's that's your specified duty of the business. Like, there's no
Or
one else
even-
to rely
or
on
even
but
that you
you.
have no outside support,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's horrible. That's the worst feeling on the planet.
I've been there.
Worst feeling on the
You
planet.
actually witnessed it.
Yeah.
I think
Yep.
you all have, right?
Yep.
Where you're standing on this island and you're like, what's next?
Yep.
How do I move forward? Who's going to support me? And then you get the thought process, I don't need their support, right? I can do this all on my own.
Right.
And you can't.
No.
Right.
No.
You really, really can't.
And the other thing too is like I feel like you've changed so much over the last since I've known you, and I take full credit for that. But you have like the way that I first met you.
Both of you have changed my life. Thank you.
You're so welcome. You're welcome.
But the person that I first met that I thought you were, you're not that person.
Everybody
and I
says
think
that.
that's like a defense. It's like a defense mechanism,
That's so
So
funny.
then when people come and like,
You're
oh,
such
I'm
a
like,
jackass.
but I get
He
super,
really is. But we love him anyways.
yeah, but I get super protective, over him, even though I had just had an argument with him like an hour before, and we're
Oh,
still death
I might
text
be worse
messaging
than
each
him. You
other.
guys just don't see it.
Yeah. It's true. That's why I think where the
Easy.
tough love is. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? If I'm like Mary, come on. I'm not going to call a specific incident, but I'm like, Mary, this is my take on it. Hear me out. Why? And she might be so passionate, like, no, you're wrong. And we'll go back and forth for a little bit. Either way, we'll both give and realize, okay, maybe we're both wrong. We're both right at that time. And then we just continue to support. That's
And
so
somehow
important.
I was in that text message that I had to mute. Yeah.
Some F-bombs might have, I don't know.
And I'm like, they'll figure it out.
But
It'll
if
be fine.
you honestly think about it, guys, seriously, like all of us in this room, think about it. If our argument is simply because we're trying to make someone else improve, that's a pretty good freaking argument.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
really
To
is,
have.
yeah.
Absolutely.
But
With
then-
all heads nodding in this room, it's yes,
Yeah.
because we're not talking about BS. We're not gossiping.
Oh, I
We're not
can't.
talking about other
Can't.
people. We're
Yeah.
not bringing, oh, did you hear
Can't.
what so-and-so said? Who cares? How many times have we said, if someone comes to you with that kind of crap, is this going to enlighten my life? Is this going to bring joy to my life or your life? Are we going to grow from this? No, then don't talk to me about it because I don't care.
100%.
because we don't have time for
I don't
that.
have time for it.
We don't have time for
levels.
that.
We talked about levels.
Mhm.
You're on a different level. We're all on a different level.
100%.
I am, and someone said something the other day. God bless him. I won't bring it up his name, but you said this. I go, this is gonna sound bad, and I'm really sorry because you can't hear the inflection of my voice, and I'm texting you, but I'm like, no offense, you're not a thought in my day, so I'm not gonna talk badly about you because I'm not even thinking about you.
Are
like,
they still talking to you?
yeah, they're trying to amend the bond because
Okay.
they can recognize like that probably did not transpire.
But this goes
you know?
back to, so standing on that island by yourself, this goes back to building those relationships.
Right.
You've got to find your team.
Yeah.
You've got to find those people. Like with Lindsay, Mary and I, when we started this off, we go to lunch like once a month, twice a week, right? Or twice a month, because you have to find those people that you can bounce ideas off of, that support you and want to build you up. Tyler, he didn't know me.
No.
Right?
Build a relationship.
I don't think he knew anybody at first, man.
No.
Now
He was
very
skeptical.
Yeah. Now he's
fell
a
in love
player.
with him at Halloween.
He's doing awesome.
Yes. Him and Brandon Withers were like,
That's it.
those are our
They are
guys.
people.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, and Tyler invited me to speak to his Young and Hungry group.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, that was one of my highlights, to sit in front of those
young
kids,
guys,
those young kids
Yep.
that I once was, that didn't know anything. Nobody told me squat. Right?
Do you know that I've gotten from that? Okay, so I was
You didn't go to that, remember?
I went once. I went once with
You guys are vicious.
I was the speaker.
Maybe we should have put
and you
boxing
had
gloves
priorities
out here
that
instead
night,
of hard hats.
remember?
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear her
yeah.
say?
Oh,
Oh yeah.
I'm
but
just
it
gonna
was
be quiet
cool.
now.
And I said to those young adults, like, no one told me, no one sat in front of me, and what an honor to be invited,
Right.
and to be able to hear them. I mean, just there was lots of, and like Tyler said, he's the young kid, but he surrounded himself by people that know things.
Yeah.
Right.
And he knew the answers to a majority of the questions they were
One
asking.
of the greatest books that I have ever read, and I'm a huge fan of this particular author, Napoleon Hill, The Mastermind Group. So that's where he is the founder of that philosophy and that theory. So if you guys, anybody listening, if anybody else like actually wants to know the psychological background,
get an audiobook.
I will say, like,
Check
one
it
of
out.
Amanda's greatest strengths is she's very, very prepared. So like before she spoke at the Young and Hungry that I accidentally had to miss.
You didn't accidentally. That's
we went-
bullshit.
we
It
went-
was intentional. Don't
we
let her.
went to one of the
Intentional,
meetings.
yeah,
We went to
intentional.
one of the meetings so that she could see what she goes, we got to go there and see what this is all about.
Right.
And so we did, and I had the best time there. It was, and they made us do this exercise where what was it that Tyler? What did you make us do? And I got to know everybody.
You had to like all their
everybody-
Facebook pages.
Oh yeah, and now I'm friends with them all, and we talk and like we bounce ideas off each other, and I just loved it. I had the best time at your meeting.
And little does Mary know, like before I spoke, and I don't even think I told this to Tyler, but I like wrote all my thoughts on a Post-it card, because that's just me. I'm the, I like to know what's going to be next.
She is an over communicator, and
That's
I
awesome.
have to over
I love that.
communicate. I don't like to over communicate, so it's a skill that I'm learning now.
except for my kids, I don't want to hear
Yeah.
that.
Same,
They
same,
overcommunicate
Chris,
too
same,
much
Chris.
time.
Yeah, you have daughters like I do. Well,
Yeah.
so you
Yeah.
both do.
We
Yeah,
got one son.
yeah.
Bam
Yeah.
Bam, and Thor, aka Thor.
Oh yeah, Reagan.
When he
named
was
Thor
born,
when he was born.
I got a little hammer,
Aw.
little Thor hammer. He was adorable.
Our girls like to
He
over
ate it.
communicate, don't they?
Yeah, oh my-
right?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
as soon as you walk in the door, they'll
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna pass
Just stop
out.
talking.
Yeah.
Give me 5
Give me a
minutes.
second.
Yeah.
Back to the good feeling thing, though. I will tell you this: when you get a guy that just shoots you a text mail a day, and it's not like me and Chris don't have to communicate. Like we don't have to communicate, right? We just don't.
That's when you know it's a true
It's
We
friendship.
just give each other the look.
Yeah.
But that's when you know. That's when you know it's a true friendship.
It can be from across the room.
to get that. I mean, it's one of these once in a while. Tyler
Okay.
might get a
He
little...
likes. He's physical. He likes to hold hands.
Remember, dude, I used to give this dude hugs. He's like,
So
bro,
much.
you're squeezing me way too hard, bro.
Like I got to go see a chiropractor.
I brought it in though. But seriously, to get a text in the middle of the day, like, hey, bro, how you doing today? That's what everyone should be encouraged today to reach out and do that.
That's a
You
good
know who
idea.
does that
Reach
for
out.
me?
Mm.
It's probably gonna blow your mind.
Who?
Drake Milhot.
Drake does? Drake Malhall.
Is it about drainage? Does he?
No,
Hey, did you check your drainage today, Amanda?
he is one of my accountability partners that
Yes.
you assigned us,
Mhm.
and he's
Mhm.
really good about it.
Well, I think that's why we did that.
Yeah.
And I think that's fantastic. I think
Yeah.
Matt from DCI is one of the leaders.
He's
for one of his
like
ones,
a
too.
who knew guy.
Yeah, that's why.
Who knew?
Yeah, yeah. He's on your ass. isn't he?
Lisa's
We're going to have him
Lisa
on the
is-
podcast.
Lisa
April
texts
6th, I
me.
think.
Good.
Lisa Monaco
Good.
texts me and shares stuff because she's a woman business owner in
Mhm.
a, you know, and had to go through a lot of the same stuff that we're going through now. And like when she like checks in with me or this, or she'll call me, she's like, listen, I know that you've been through this. And I'm like,
Island
and
Waste Shutters.
it's-
Lisa Monaco, Island Waste
Yeah.
Shutters.
yeah, it's just awesome to have those kind of relationships.
It's the best relationships in the world. People forget that we wind up spending a ton of our time not only with our families but outside of our families, and it's those relationships that should be nurtured. You know, those
100%.
are the relationships that I appreciate the most. And although no, we don't break bread all the time or hang out or
And we
have a
don't
drink
have
or whatever.
to.
We don't have to.
Right.
That's the there it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
That's
But
the
now that I'm
beautiful
going to these different networking events, I'm like, oh gosh, she's gives me a list of things. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna know anybody here.
Well, and I told Mary,
thing.
but what I told
What's
Mary
that?
is what I told the Young and Hungry.
Mrs. Doubtfire. For a
I
second.
know, right?
Oh, hello, dear. Sorry, go ahead.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm
Can I
sorry.
speak
Shut
now?
up, my bad.
Is sign up to do something.
Mhm.
So if networking, showing up to those events makes you uncomfortable, volunteer. Do the sign-in sheet.
Yep.
Provide food,
Yep.
right? So that way you have, because we're all thinking about what's next and how to work it,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Why-
And
We
the
got a
two
few
of
minutes
us-
left, right? We
and
have
the
a few minutes left.
Say,
What we
why
got?
is he
Sure.
looking at me like that?
We got. Okay, cool. So I want to touch on something. So we're saying all these things, right? The generation below us is not comprehending this.
It's not true.
That's not
Some-
true because
Not
he
true.
has a group.
Okay, well
Yeah.
so let me go with that. Like
It's not true.
there is some that do, but Tyler will talk on it. The communication the communicate. I'm talking
to get them to
The-
answer.
to
a
get
phone
them
or
to
talk
answer. That's my
to
problem.
answer
To
the
answer
phone,
a text,
to
a
talk.
phone.
Yes.
That's my issue.
Yes.
Is responding. Not all
Tyler,
of
I
them.
know we can't hear Tyler, but I brought my youngest son
Yeah.
to 2. He's been to 2 Young and Hungry.
But he's also watched his mom and dad network their entire life. It's going to click sooner or later.
He goes and he talks to these
Right.
people, and he knows half the people in the room because
Right.
I made him come with me.
Right.
Right? Like-
This is the Mark Twain quote. When I was 12, I couldn't understand
Oh,
how ignorant
Jesus.
my father was. But by the time I turned 22, I can't believe how much he learned in 10 years. Because you see what that all comes
Now,
to
granted,
fruition sooner or
Hunter
later.
is much different than the majority
Right.
of the kids.
I
But-
am concerned about the younger generation, though. I don't know how they're gonna
See.
like.
They'll figure
We have
it
to
out.
raise kids to
Yeah,
survive in
they'll
a
figure it out.
world
They'll figure it
that we
out.
don't exist in, and that's the biggest thing that I think is.
Lindsay was
important,
talking about
you
it the
know?
other day. She's like, she watches her kid just scroll, and she's like, "Why are you leaving that? Well, I saw it. I read it. I'm done." No, engage. Like, respond back to that person. It's
Communicate in a different way. They communicate on TikTok, whether we like it or not. They
Right.
communicate
So-
on video. They document
Snapchat,
their
yeah.
entire life on video,
Mhm.
and that's the way that they're communicating. They're not talking, but you're seeing what they're doing
Yeah.
all day.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
go ahead.
When there's a text message I don't feel like answering, I just look at the pop up and I scroll through it. Not lying.
He texted me. What did you text me yesterday, bro? Oh.
God only knows.
Can I call out? Can I call it out?
I don't give
Can I call?
a damn. You know
This
me.
is- All right. So, hold up.
Oh.
Hold up. Hold up.
Okay.
All right.
Are you done?
All right. You got to do the dramatics, or otherwise it doesn't count. All right. So they have a Jeep event coming up. What's the date?
This is
The 20
passion.
March
This is-
25th.
He's got to
March
stretch.
25th?
Yeah,
Right.
because it's stressing Mary out.
This
From
is-
Yeah.
5 to 9.
Right.
Yes,
She's
from
she's
5 to 9.
Son of a bee. So it's a
Amanda's
great Jeep
not in
event.
town.
It's at Starkey Market. We did it last year.
Yeah, it was awesome.
phenomenal. It was the first event.
It's gonna be
so
even
here we
better
are, the
this
second
year.
event. So Chris, dude, you're a sly dog, bro. He puts out this like dissertation
Yeah.
message, like, "Hey, everybody," real professional, which is fantastic because
Right.
it is a professional.
Oh, was
Yeah.
this the Facebook
Yes.
message?
Oh, we're not done.
I didn't.
Oh no, forget about answering it. Listen, that's okay.
You
Well,
guys
that's
are
fine.
already in.
You're in there. So he puts this all out. Blah, 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 blah. It's going to be a great event. You're going to be able to collaborate. You're going to meet with other business owners. You're going to bring people from the community. You're going to be people from Starkey, like Longleaf, blah, 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 down. Perfect. Awesome. Oh, this is great. This is fantastic. Everyone's like, da-da. And then Chris comes in with, and don't forget, there's
Yeah.
$100 fee.
Yeah.
Good for you.
And
Yeah.
boom!
Yeah.
Flatline. Flatline.
Like-
Why don't people invest in themselves? Why is it
$100 to put yourself
$100
in
is
front
a
of
freaking
thousands of people.
dinner in today's world with your family
Yeah.
at Carrabba's. Okay, it's $100 is not. I can't fill my
So-
tank for $100 anymore.
You want to build your brand, right?
Right.
You got to get out in front of the community. You know how many people
Mary,
are going to be there?
Did you write Chris $100 check?
No, we're just gonna give it to him.
Out of my bag. Is that-
I'm sure it's a Louis Vuitton over there
Yeah,
somewhere.
people are dropping out of the conversation, and these are people that were private messaging me. You
Yeah.
know, oh my God, I'm so excited. I
Oh,
want to
they
do
left the message?
this. Yeah,
No way.
Yeah,
like
because he
I
asked
own
for
this
$100.
business, I own that business. I need to be a part of
Say
it.
again?
It is,
a
yes.
fundraiser.
It's,
So they
so
really
it's a fundraiser.
They
For Pasco
Yeah.
Kids
Facebook
first,
Messenger.
right?
It's Pasco Kids first.
Pasco Kids first.
And we're
so,
and forget the 100 now. So wait, everything's great and hunky dory because you're wetting their beak a little bit and you're giving them something for free, and now that's gone
for
and for $100.
Do you know that when I was starting Blackjack, everyone would say to me, I see you everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see you everywhere. I see you everywhere.
Mhm.
Do you know
it was
that
the two studs on the bikes.
Oh,
That's
God.
I
what
was
it
also the
Here.
marketing guy. I'm just joking.
No, this was before you.
Yeah, you were the marketing guy.
This
Give me
was-
some credit, damn it.
This was before
Yeah, yeah,
Reddit.
yeah,
This
before
was
me,
before,
before me.
RW.
Yeah,
okay.
before, oh, nice.
Before
nice.
RW.
Yeah, true.
But I couldn't afford to do the higher
Mhm,
sponsor, right?
mhm.
I always had to go in at the very lowest.
But you had
level.
$100. You always had 100. Everyone's got $100
If you're not willing to spend $100
on your brand,
Right.
on an event that's probably going to attract 500 people
if not
Or
more.
way
or
more,
more,
than that,
right? If you, and even if you don't, so does everyone in this room, of course, ROI. Everyone's
Mhm.
big
Yes.
on
Return on investment.
ROI, and
Yep.
that's
So-
a bunch of BS. Because you want to know why?
ROR.
You cannot measure your brand's success on your ROI.
Well,
It-
yeah, numerically, like from
Right,
a dollar standpoint,
right,
but
right.
investing in your business is so much more than just money.
And you
Finish. I
have
know where
to
you're going.
show
Say
up.
it.
And you're
You have
investing
to
in
show
yourself.
up.
Right.
You're investing in yourself.
Yes.
She was about to say ROR, right?
Right.
Which is
Mhm.
which is your return on your relationship.
That's
Right,
right.
Return on your relationship, and that's why if I could have a tent next to whatever Joe Blow mechanic or whatever down the road, and I could build that relationship, who knows what's going to happen? I know I built
Exactly.
relationships from people from 5-6 years ago that are now coming to fruition now
Wow.
because you built those relationships. You have to invest in your
The
your
lady
business.
that
and
called
brand. You have
yesterday
to.
that had to talk to me, right?
Yes. Yes.
I met her, oh my gosh, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah. And the people, like, I know that a lot of people don't like to do home shows and stuff anymore, but I just did one by myself and I loved it. I had the best time. I had the best time. I
I'm
met
so glad
people.
Because you
like
I
engage.
talked to people.
Because you
yeah.
stand up and you engage.
Yeah.
Everyone hides behind the table
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've
and
talked
they're
about
on their
this.
phone scrolling, and you wonder why you're not getting a lead source.
We went to Lindsay and I went to the boat show over the weekend, and we walked through the two big aisles of all the vendors. Not a single one of them was like, "Hey guys." They weren't out
Really?
front. They were all standing back. They were on their phones.
They're not inviting you in the
Did
boat.
they have any airboats there?
No airboats.
Mm.
Lots of
Ooh.
pontoon boats, like an
Guess
Yeah.
insane amount of pontoon
Guess
boats.
what's
It was
coming
ridiculous.
to the boat shows? Airboats.
What's the name of that? What's the name of that new company?
Yeah, good lead, Chris. So my husband Brian opened Raptor Airboats.
What a cool name.
Yeah,
That's
it
such a
is.
badass name,
And the logo is amazing.
It is cool.
Yeah, they did a really good job. So check out Raptor Airboats on Facebook.
Yeah.
Our first build is done.
And I will give
Yeah,
a
I
quick
followed
shout
that.
out
It was-
to
it
your
was really
husband.
cool.
oh, he
Your
does
husband
so
is
much
he's
behind the
quiet
scenes.
behind the scenes. He's loud when you're in front of him, but he's quiet behind the scenes. And Brian will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And that's a good thing about Brian Hart right there,
Yes,
because
yeah.
he just always tells it how it is.
And 18 years later, it was a point in time that him and I were sitting on that island alone, and I wouldn't
Mhm.
have been able to do it without him.
Good.
But she is a little sad that she has two Brians now. She literally says,
I don't know how in the hell this happened, but yeah.
Oh.
Brian, Mary is a female Brian.
Oh.
Like, how did this happen?
One time we made her so mad that me and Brian just looked at each other and we just ran out of the office.
They both walked out of the
We
office
just
because they
laughed.
knew
We
I
just-
was so
we're
mad.
gone.
That's funny.
Yeah, true story.
So you like hunt and fish with bows too? I want to
No,
see
no,
that.
no, no, no. I get my meat from Publix. They do a great job.
That's awesome. All right, that was a
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah, great podcast.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So we're gonna end it there. Tyler, thanks for being in studio.
Yeah,
and
man.
contributing.
Tyler
from-
Hart
Young and
again.
Hungry.
Young and Hungry
Guest chair.
Entrepreneurs
Young and
on
Hungry, Young and
Facebook.
Hungry Entrepreneurs. Mary
Those are cute.
Snicki, Amanda Hart,
Well
Yep.
done, Lindsay.
Nature Coast Roofing Solutions.
Yep.
I like the solutions.
How
part
do
of
you get a hold of you, ladies? What is the number
Yes.
Oh,
Do we
here,
have
so
to call
it-
you?
it. Jesse
it's
has
the-
it up on the live
it's the
feed.
pink phone.
Oh, right there.
597-597-3414.
567 or 597.
597. Is that phone number wrong?
Yes,
Oh,
we got to
wait.
fix
Is
that
it on?
graphic.
No, what?
Is it?
And
Maybe
it's
I'm
all-
wrong. Good job, Jesse. Good job, Jesse. But you can also send us a Facebook message,
Mhm.
contact us off of our website, all of the things.
Yes.
All right.
We have a great website.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah, we
You
do.
It's
We really do have a great.
naturecoastroof.com.
Thank you, Chris.
Excellent. Yes. Thanks for coming in, girls. Reagan, thanks
Thank
for
you
being
for having
here.
us, Chris.
Jesse, thanks for running the show for us. Jesse, Jesse
Wizard of
Guthrie.
Pods.
Yes.
Wizard of
We
Pods.
call him the Wizard of Pods.
Wizard
He's
of
usually in
Pods.
studio, but today he has a lot of meetings happening. His production company's growing.
Well,
for
and
you.
don't forget, Jesse, I want to talk to you after
Please-
this.
yes,
So
please
please
reach
find
out to
me.
Amanda.
Yeah, please.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming.
Later.
Thank
See you next time.
See you.